toss of the coin giving Cambridge choice of the Surrey side of the river, and the sight of the Oxford 8 carrying their boat out, marks a big step back on the royal road to the good old pre-war England. It's a bit hard sometimes to remember what it all used to be like. Well, here's a reminder.
It is very bizarre being somewhere where you have a glorified practice, inter-squad scrimmage, and it's in newspapers.
Right from the start, of course, the media was important to the boat race, but the boat race was also important to the media and has been ever since.
Of Britain's great sporting and social occasions.
On behalf of the Oxford University Boat Club, I accept your challenge.
Where are we now? 74 years on. 1938 was the first year the boat race was televised.
And somehow, it's something that unites and divides the country.
You were handed out a boat club kit, and on the subway, 3 persons approached me and like, "Were you in last year's boat race?"
I guess the amazing thing about the boat race is that it's between 2 universities. I mean, there aren't many amateur sports that we cover, let alone university.
The first time it hit me that the crowds were there was just on the minibus drive from the hotel down to the boathouse, because we couldn't get to the boathouse.
There's a certain bond between a crew that comes about because you've got to go out there in front of 5-8 million people watch it here, and another 50-80 million people worldwide, and you've got to go out and row.
The most important thing to me about rowing, ever since I've been doing it, is can you put the blinders on? Teams that get distracted and teams that have like all kinds of big rah-rah stuff, they're the teams that aren't going to be performing as well because they're not focused on what they're doing.
Sean's had people out there in all weathers doing particular exercises, concentrating on what the boat is doing, what they're doing, focusing on it, and that you have trained into you the ability to shut out all the hullabaloo.
We've had some people in the erg room from time to time taking videos and pictures, which is distracting.
GQ came to do a photo shoot with some of the guys and brought some clothes down and dressed them up. To what ends, I'm not entirely sure.
I wasn't involved in the GQ shoot, and I'm happy I wasn't involved in the GQ shoot after seeing the makeup and the hairstyles they were putting on some of the guys. I think they were a mixture of maybe excited and embarrassed at the same time, Don't really want to admit it to your friends, but maybe they're kind of happy to be in something like that.
I suspect the main angle this year will be the boat race as a staging board for the Olympics. 9
of former rowers from the boat race actually went up onto the podium at Beijing and collected medals, so it shows the pedigree of the rowers that come from the boat race and progress onto Olympic level. And here we are on the verge of the greatest show on earth, London Olympics, and who knows how many of the people who have been in the boat race previous to this year will go on to win Olympic medals at London.
I don't think even the most vain international rower turns up just because they're going to be on TV.
The boat race is all about honor and defending your university. That's the way I feel, in all honesty.
It's about being part of the tradition. It's about being part of this famous race. It's been going on longer than the Olympics. I think that's a great draw and that's a great motivation. For people like me, I find it more motivation to not do badly.
If you're a rower in the US, you're not doing it because people know you. In fact, most people just give you quizzical looks and ask is that like kayaking? Yeah, sure. Boat racing in general exists all over the world, whether or not anyone cares.
If all the cameras turned off, if no crowds turned up, we'd still go out there and race at that time. And the fact that people know who you are is interesting, but I guess it's more of a distraction than anything, and I think you can't let yourself get carried away.